12 to 13 years of working, I see the same people arrested week after week, month after month. They continue to come through, and thus the revolving door of the criminal justice system. On the other hand, drug court treats that at a significant less cost to the public. This person cannot be incarcerated. They are out undergoing treatment, anywhere from residential treatment to intensive outpatient treatment, 101. They're attending self-help support meetings such as AA, NA, or maybe a faith-based group. They're going through things such as relapse prevention. They're looking at, we have a group therapy that really makes you look at why you do what you do, how you've gotten where you are. It's something called moral reconnation therapy, which is a made-up word. That's the most smart people. But it challenges them to change their life. They're also working. They're paying child support. They're paying their taxes. They're paying their fines, which is fantastic. And then we look at the data on that, and you see what type of recidivism we have, and it is absolutely night and day. So drug courts work. That's really all I can kind of testify before you today. We have one of our graduates that came with us that's now a member of our drug court team. Our judge in Madison County was just reelected this past year. The drug court platform was something that he put out there as kind of one of his achievements of his time in office. It is at a cost savings to your community, and absolutely will close that revolving door of the people you see that are getting rearrested and rearrested over and over. So thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Judge.
Just real quick, Ashley, if you'll come up. This is a success story from drug treatment court, and she's a firecracker.
Hello, I'm Ashley Davis. I actually work under a grant of the state of Tennessee called Lifeline. There are 10 of us that the governor came up with that he wanted us to get out there in the community, and part of this job is you had to have 2 years sober. I now celebrated 6 years in November. I had a great life. I don't know if you remember me. I would have never recognized you, but I saw you 7 years ago. And when my son, no, it's part of what I share. My son was removed. We couldn't be seen in Madison County because of my family, so we came here and saw you. And I didn't show up the second time. And it's not because I'm a bad mom. I graduated with honors. I went to college in NTSU. I came back here. I was a lab tech at West Tennessee Healthcare for almost 6 years. And then at 30, everything changed. Became addicted to prescription drugs. That increases. It became Oxycontin. That increases. And in a year and a half, methamphetamine took everything I had from me. 3 jobs, my son, my house, my car. My son was taken care of, and so that gave me free rein. And instead of doing what a normal human being would do, which is say, what do I need to do to get my son back? I had free rein to do whatever I wanted. My son, Marshall, he's 15 now. He was removed from me in May of 2007. I didn't even go for help until November 24th, 2008. I went to long-term treatment at Jackson Shelter for 6 months, and then I did a year of felony drug court with Judge Allen in Jackson. I'm sorry, Jill. He loves to do shock incarceration. It was awful for me. Someone that doesn't have a speeding ticket on their record. Jill was awful. Treatment was where I learned how to live again. Treatment gave me how to deal with life on life's terms. Drug court gave me my accountability. There are so many things that you have to follow. There are so many rules. You have to go in front of the judge. You have to do, it's a book of things. And by the time I got there, I was ready to do whatever it took. While I was in jail, I knew if I said I needed help, I would get help. Yeah, but I really just didn't want it. I wanted to learn how to have happy hour with my parents. Take the prescription as needed, like it said. Instead of, if it was in my pocket, it was burning a hole. That's all I thought about all day long. There was no control. My life went downhill real fast in a year and a half. Came home from treatment, followed the drug court rules, went to AA meetings, went to NA meetings, stayed sober. show that it does work because it's the truth. The second thing is to break the stigma. I'm here to talk about it anytime, whoever will listen, you know, about addiction. Because if any of you guys are like me, and an addict was somebody that was homeless, and that lived under a bridge, and that didn't bathe, you know, by the time I got to jail, I was homeless. They had taken everything from me. So I was that addict. But you know, it took me realizing that. The third thing I do is help establish as many recovery meetings in my counties that I cover. And I do have 11 counties, so I stay a little bit busy. But I cover Madison County all the way south to the river and then back to Shelby County. So, you know, being accountable in consequences, I'm not saying everybody should be locked up by any means, because for me that was the worst part of the whole thing. But if I hadn't had those consequences of my actions, I wouldn't have changed. You know, and then the accountability of the judge, which I have a hard judge, you know, helped me. I mean, it made me want something different. It made me want a better life. I sit, you know, face to face with Judge Allen every 2 days. Now, Judge Atkins in Jackson, he's the new judge. You know, we have drug court tomorrow. His team meets tomorrow. With Judge Denton, I've been working, and now also in Fayette County with Judge Gallagher. You know, these are in my communities. There's 4 all of a sudden. You know, that are popping up. You know, and it gives hope. You know, because I am a 5-time felon, and here I stand in front of you guys on a Tuesday night. You know, telling my story just in hope that you guys see that, you know, people can be rehabilitated. So, anyways, I also brought somebody with me. 6-7 years ago, I was probably scared to death of him. His name is Mark Bagram.
If you stand up.
What? This is Mark Bagram. He is a lieutenant with Metro Narcotics in Madison County. He is also West Tennessee's regional methamphetamine and pharmaceutical task force. He's awesome, you know, and I can talk to him on a daily basis and not freak out. So, you know, take it one.
She wanted me to come here tonight and kind of give you a law enforcement perspective on drug court. I was very skeptical of it when I first heard about it 10 plus years ago. We not only have it in Jackson City Court, we also have it in Madison County General Sessions Court and in our circuit courts as well. It's not something magical. It won't cure every problem, won't fix every person, but it does work. It has a very high success rate, I think you'd say. And you know, your sheriff can tell you we have a drug epidemic. We are to a point we cannot arrest our way out of this problem. We've got to bring in some other programs to try and address this issue. This is just one of the programs that has come along, and I can tell you it does work. You have some examples like Ashley that you know she not only has corrected her behavior, she's no longer part of the problem. She's helping fix the problem. She start these programs throughout West Tennessee and helping other people in need. Some of the people they don't venture into some point. They just return to a normal life. They just go back to holding down a job and paying their bills. And the term I like to use with her is they once again become a productive member of society. Even if you had to invest some money, I would say that this program is worthwhile. Your judge has looked into some alternative funding, and it looks to me like it's not going to cost y'all a dime. I think it would be a great investment, and it's a really worthwhile program. Thank you.
Joe, will you come up?
Just briefly, this is the last speaker. This is a message from our district attorney, Mike Dunn, and from Joe as well.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all having us here tonight. I'm happy to be here with them as promised. He had sent a letter that I would be happy to read to Judge Denton. This will confirm our telephone conversation earlier today where I confirmed the commitment of this office to support the Hardin County Drug Treatment Court program by providing a one-time monetary contribution in the total amount of $7,000 from 2 sources and divisions in my office. This will confirm that the 25th Judicial District Drug Task Force will make a contribution of $3,000 from its dedicated drug fund, which is proper use of those resources to address drug addiction and recovery in Hardin County. DTF Director John Thompson and I have reviewed the availability and designation of those funds for the purpose of this specialized drug court and found the same to be appropriate. This will further confirm that the Office of the 25th Judicial District Attorney General will make an additional contribution of $4,000 from its Fraud and Economic Crimes Prosecution Fund, which, pursuant to TCA 43202, provides for the proper use of those funds directly related to fulfilling the prosecutorial duties of the District Attorney General and providing for the enhancement of resources available for prosecution of property and economic crimes and providing assistance to victims of those crimes. Because we know that many property-related and economic crimes are committed by offenders who have drug and alcohol dependency and are motivated by that addiction, and because the Hardin County Drug Treatment Court provides for an intensive rehabilitation and supervision program for nonviolent, drug-driven misdemeanor offenders, the direction of these funds for the purposes of supporting and enhancing your drug court program are reasonably calculated to achieve those prosecutorial goals. Thank you for honoring your word and for being proactive in your leadership of this wonderful initiative that will enhance and promote public safety in Hardin County by providing drug-addicted offenders the tools and resources to accomplish recovery and prevent recidivism. Please call upon me at any time. You have my full support and endorsement of this program. And this was signed by D. Michael Dunbar, our District Attorney General.
Thank you, Joe.
I met with the budget committee earlier, and I believe it comes with a favorable recommendation from that board, and I would appreciate your vote to approve the budget amendment. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. The Budget Committee did go over this with Judge Denton, and they have approved the amendment, the new amendment that you have before you. Are there any questions about the drug court to any one of our speakers?
Mayor, the grants and donations that you receive and anticipate receiving, do you think that will be able, Judge Denton, to sustain the program itself without county funds?
Yes, it'll sustain us till the new fiscal year, which will start July 1. And at that point, we will be relying on the state funding it, and funding itself through the collection of certain fees that will come into the court, and then they're shared with those counties that have drug treatment courts. They'll share that money. It'll get to stay in the county, in other words, and we'll rely on state and federal grants at that point.
Is the governor hasn't already, so he'll be supporting that program, right?
The governor?
Like,
Yes, he is.
Yeah, okay, I thought so, because I work for the state and we have, those programs.
Very much so. Ashley can verify that.
One question I have, you've got down here contract services. Is he a regular contractor, or is he an employee of the county?
He's a contracted, we're contracted for his services. He's not an employee of the county, no.
Where's his office going to be?
Right now, it's at the CJC.
So is the county putting electricity in, rent, and contract? We've got contract services, so are we supplying a contract person an office
Yes.
in our county?
Yes. And that works well for us because of the fact that I was explaining to the budget committee, for instance, our team met this afternoon, and we were in the conference room there right next to the courtroom. And when we are up and running full speed, what we're going to do is we will gather there and evaluate the participants that are planned on going through the program, and then I'll step into the courtroom, and then I'll take guilty pleas for those that are going to participate. So it's a matter of convenience and